Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. This is my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week, I didn't get a ton of painting finished because I was all hustle, getting ready for the tournament I'm running on Saturday for Infinity. It's called Winter War, and it is a 24 person tournament. I had to get tables prepped for all of it. Table toppers, scenery all boxed up and individually labeled, numbered table cards, the whole 9 yards. So I've been busting away on that. I did do a little bit of painting, trying to fulfill my promise to myself of getting some of my backlog done. I got some of my Nomad stuff finished, but then some new cool stuff showed up from Corvus Belli, so I immediately put it together and started working on it too. And just kind of started organizing projects for the guests that are coming in the rest of the month to play some games. So let's see what got done and what is coming up. So here's the painted pile, 5 models this week. Like I said, finishing off some of my stuff that's just been sitting unfinished for a minute. My old Intruder Killer Hacker with a multi-rifle got painted this week, along with my Salute, which is the remaining metal 55mm based remote for my Nomads. And he'll be either a baggage bot or... He doesn't have the antennas, but I'll also count him as my Evo bot, because why not? And he's an older sculpt now. I'd already built and painted for an old Moran Masai, not painted but base coated, the Crazy Koalas, so I finished them up, and that was all my remaining stuff. But then new things showed up, including the new Moran, so I immediately scrapped my old one and base coated and painted this guy. I love this sculpt. I love the designs, like on his tactical suit and stuff like that. Really cool model. And all these are painted my same sort of like Nomad method. People ask about the basing and stuff too, but they're base coated, like just prime black, and then base coated like a dark gray. I paint in and panel paint in all of the 2 reds. It's brick red and hull red from Vallejo from the Nomad paint set. For the red bits, I use brick red for the armor plates, and then hull red for the clothing. And then you can see the differential here on him. See his pants are that hull red, and then his it's almost like a brown. And then his armor plates are blended up. And then I use Vallejo, I think it's just pure, fire red, pure red. It's basically a candy apple red mixed in for the first highlight, and then their game color fiery orange. All in the Nomad paint set to paint these guys and get them done. Added some white details, some blue and orange yellow, sort of glowy lights on them as well. And then base them up using Asgardians debris from GW. I wash in, so 60-40 water to paint, a drop of paint into the middle of the base. And I wash my paintbrush off, get it wet, and then tease it out from the middle. So you get that nice fade for the red glow in the middle of the Asgardians. I love these texture paints from GW. You can get tons of texture gels and stuff like that out there, but these are just easy to use because they're pre-colored. And then I color them myself with various stains. You can see it on the remaining models I started working on. So 5 things done, but the rest of the fire team box all painted or built up and base coated here with that same process I just talked about. So the evader with it's supposed to be a Fuhrbach. It does not look like a Fuhrbach to me. It looks more like the AB Spitfire, so that's what I'm using it as. And then the other Moran Masai. I still need to build and prime the other Crazy Koalas, but you might not have all 4 on the table at the same time, so you might not need them. I'll probably do them anyway, just for the sake of if I go first, I want them all. I've got McMurder. So McMurder's all built and painted, or built and base coated, sorry, in that same methodology, using the browns, and I'm gonna get him done next because he's cool, and I wanted the new one for my Nomads. I have the old one already painted up with my Caledonians, but I figured new times, new army, do the new one. And then my Wildcats down here with the rocket launcher. And then this guy's not actually an Infinity miniature. I found him in a box when I was looking for miniatures to play Space Station Zero with this week. He's a model from Sedition Wars, like a hard plastic model from that board game. And he's perfect as either a Digger or a Diablo for my Nomad army. And seeing as how tag raid, I didn't back it, so I won't have it. I wanted a proxy to play with the Digger. You can have one in the Nomad army. And I was like, wow, I found this guy. I was looking for him. I'm just gonna paint him. He's dude with a chain rifle and a weird exosuity power armor thing. He's supposed to be a mining guy. This miniature was perfect, so I'm gonna use him as a proxy, and then my remaining Crazy Koalas. Stuff that came in, new Scotsguard, which I'll probably end up using for Cosmoflot instead of, because I have the old Scotsguard, which I'll paint up to go with my Caledonians to match that style of model. These guys will probably end up in my Cosmoflot army, along with this sweet new War Driver. I love this miniature. I'm super pumped to paint this model. It's such a great miniature. Just as like a generic sci-fi model, I think it's one of my favorite sculpts that Corvus Belly's done for a while. And then it's on to my Nomads. More at Expansion Pack Alpha. I love it. It's the whatchamacallit, the hook-shotting Rindak SMG murder paramedic. He's got like his medkits like on his chest and like a bandolier. I think those are the medkits he's supposed to like shoot at people. The Tarlok drop suit. I think it's a Tarlok drop suit. It's something drop suit. Drop suit Terriot. That's what it is. And the new Zerat with the boarding shotgun, which is the one profile I don't have for the Zerat. So I'm pumped to paint these up too. I'll probably do this box right after I finish up this Nomad stuff. And then go back to Aleph. I'm going like white, purple, red, black, and then gray, green is like my color hopping right now. So what I'll probably do while I'm TOing is I'll bring my paint stuff and I'll sit down and I'll finish these guys during the event. I'm pretty sure I can finish all of these in like the 8 hours that I'm there. As long as the light's okay. I'll steal one of the kids' reading lamps and sit and paint the rest of this stuff, and that means I can then go and finish these Morats for the week after. I'm gonna save this guy, save Li Gong, because my Buching army is gonna be a prize at Winter War. I'm gonna donate it as a prize in its display cabinet, which means I won't have a Yuching army anymore, and I've been sitting on a bunch of Yuching stuff I've been collecting. So I feel like my ITS Season 15 army is going to be Yuching. So I'm going to save Li Gong and all that new stuff to paint. I'm going to keep all my stuff from Operation Kaldstrom and then start a brand new based on those miniatures army. But it means that like all of this is going in the prize pool. So this is going to be one of the prizes that I'll raffle off basically at Winter War. And I love this army, but like I need shelf space. It's a classic collection. I think it can definitely play either Invincible Army, because it's got like Zhu Yongs and stuff like that, or White Banner, or whatchamacallit, Imperial Service. It's mostly Imperial Service stuff, though, and it's a good Imperial Service army. But I'm going to get rid of it and start a new one. And I'll also build up this Flock Station Scenery Pack for some extra terrain over the course of the event, just in case we need it, although I do got some volunteers bringing some new stuff. And I converted stuff I don't use anymore. Ben was nice enough to help me do that, auctioning off some like old things that I had to help clear the studio into new things. Asgardian Force, which isn't the best, but Beta Ray Bill's coming soon, so I want to start my Asgard Force now, so I can also paint up Beta Ray Bill and get back to some MCP. Ben's getting into mutants, evil mutants, and I wanted to have something new and different to play for you guys to watch, and so I figured why not do the Asgardians of the Galaxy, my favorite sort of like big talking heroes, and definitely I don't know, it's hard to say. There's 4 Thor movies. The third one is definitely my favorite Marvel movie. The fourth one less, but not terrible. And the first 2 Thor movies not great, but I love all these characters. So I'm going to do some Asgardians. And then also, I'll use an excuse to finish off the terrain I haven't painted. I've got the 2 extra construction working vehicles that I haven't done. Because was kind enough to send along some of the new stuff for Fallout. The Critter Pack, I love just having random stuff in post-apocalyptic games, and with the new Fallout Into the Wasteland supplement, this stuff would be super important. So I'm going to try and get these painted up when Jay and I hopefully eventually get to playing some Into the Wasteland, which means throwing down some Stingwings and some Brahmin. Gotta have herds of Brahmin wander through and then accidentally shoot them and have them go hog wild and attack you. Lovely models, and definitely capture that Fallout feel. I like that there's a pack Brahmin and a regular Brahmin too, so you can even have like a trader walking around with this one. And then you got the big Stingwings, one of which I think is supposed to be glowing. So you have a glowing Stingwing, and then 2 like regular Stingwings, but you could just paint them all the same if you want as well. It's cool because they come with transparent resin or plastic wings. So you don't have to paint the wings see-through, they come see-through, which I think is a nice touch for miniatures like this. So you don't have to like try and mimic like big transparent wings. They're just transparent in the box. I'm gonna open it though to make sure. There it is, 3 packs, all the individual Stingwings on their scenic bases. And then look, there's the transparent wing pack. I think that's so cool. That's just like an additional detail. And these will be fun, it looks like, to build and paint. So I do appreciate the textured built-on bases and stuff. And the fact that these are like a non-chipping, like, I think it's like a cyoplastic. It feels like a cyoplastic, like an injected cyoplastic, and it's got the kind of flashing of a 2-part mold. So I'm pumped to give these a paint. This is the first time out to a big event for most of these Infinity players. I'm just gonna focus on making sure everybody has a great time and relaxes. It's a good party for everybody. I will do some probably like
just me sort of like Q&A streams or like live updates and stuff to the podcast Patreon. So if you haven't checked out the Tactical Awareness podcast, it'll be on that Facebook page and through the podcast Patreon doing their like, there's like a lens thing you can do on Patreon. Or you can live stream to people and talk to them. So check out the podcast if you want to follow along with the Infinity stuff I'm doing on the weekend. And yeah, and we'll be on the Discord channel too, chatting away and seeing what's up. So I'm pumped. It's gonna be cool. It overbooked immediately and we had to like start turning people down because I only have so much terrain and scenery. We could have brought more terrain, but the venue also can't necessarily hold that many. I want to run one before I start like overselling it. But I have put down a deposit for Spring Offensive in April, so there will be another one coming up in 3 months. We're gonna make these quarterly. So big thanks for watching. Till then, I'm Ash. Up Gaming.